My name is Sheena, and today I am coming on to share a tarot reading. And before I do, I'd like to invite us into an opening prayer for illumination. So if it feels in alignment, you may like to soften your gaze or close down your eyes and begin to bring some conscious awareness inwards towards your breath. If it feels in alignment, let's go ahead together and take the deepest breath that you've taken all day, breathing all the way in from the base of your pelvic floor, and maybe even taking in another sip of air at the top, just when you thought you've had enough, and holding for a conscious moment of gratitude for the radical aliveness between breaths. And when you're ready, you may exhale, maybe with a sigh, feeling something soften, releasing something and allowing something to be let go of. Divine Creator, luminous forces of love and truth, we call upon the sacred presence of the archangels, guardians of wisdom, healing, and divine will. As we stand at the threshold of this eclipse, a portal of transformation and infinite becoming, may we be guided with clarity, grace, and courage. We honor the sacred work of our hands, our hearts, and our souls. May we see with the eyes of wisdom, hear with the ears of compassion, and receive with the openness of trust. Through this reading, may we align with the highest good for renewal, for awakening, and for the well-being of all beings throughout all time and all space. May truth be spoken, may love be felt, may destiny be embraced, and may the fire of divine remembrance awaken within us all. And so it is, and so it shall be. So this is a Celtic cross eclipse reading, and we start at the heart of the matter, and it's the Eight of Pentacles. At the center of this reading is dedication, mastery, and devotion. The Eight of Pentacles reminds us that transformation is an ongoing process. We are in a time of deep work, refining our skills, tending to our inner and outer worlds with patience. Collectively, this card speaks to the importance of showing up for our evolution, knowing that each step we take in awareness contributes to the greater whole. Our challenge or opportunity this week is the Tower card. And the Tower represents sudden change and the breaking down of old structures. So while this can feel unsettling for sure, it's also an invitation for liberation. So what in our lives, personally or collectively, is crumbling so that something more aligned can take its place? This card asks us to release attachment to old paradigms and allow divine orchestration to clear whatever no longer serves. And remember, there is freedom in surrender. So where we're coming from, the past, is the Empress. And the Empress speaks of creativity, abundance, and the divine feminine principle of nurturing and gestation. So we've been in this period of cultivation, of bringing ideas, dreams, and projects into form, and this card reflects the richness of what has already been created and remind us to honor the foundation that we've built. What we're conscious of is the Ten of Swords. So there's an awareness here of ending and release. The Ten of Swords signals that a cycle has completed, one that may have involved struggle, exhaustion, or even over-identification with mental burdens. It's time to let go of outdated narratives and step into renewal. The worst is behind us, and dawn is breaking on the horizon. We have literally come into a state on the earth of equilibrium, where we are no longer feeling that Kali Yuga dark ages of a suppression of one of the major energies on our planet, but there's actually been a divine union now coming together. And so what we have here for the future is the Two of Wands. A new path is emerging, and the Two of Wands invites us to expand our vision and step forward with intention. This is a moment of choosing, of aligning our actions with our highest possibilities. Collectively, we are being called to co-create a future that reflects our deeper truths. What we're unconscious of is the Hermit. So deep within, there's a call for inner reflection here as we come to this new moon time with the sun and moon both in Aries. The Hermit speaks to the wisdom that comes from solitude, from turning inward to seek guidance. This suggests that on a collective level, introspection is necessary before outward expansion. This is profound insights just waiting for us to be reflected in our quiet spaces. So this is an opportunity for us. We've just had Venus retrograde entering Pisces yesterday. We've also had Venus retrograde conjoining with Neptune. So we've got a lot of cosmic action here. If we can quiet ourselves down into a place of stillness, we can really perceive and reflect the omniscience of really revealing the truth that's already here, just waiting to be recognized, waiting for the space to be digested, to be made aware of, to be realized. So the querent right now is the Hanged One. So we're in this space of suspension and surrender. The Hanged One invites us to shift our perspective, to see the unfolding of events from a higher vantage point. Sometimes we must pause before taking action. This is a reminder to trust the divine timing of all things. So right now in this eclipse portal, it's like being in the cosmic womb of creation, of limitless possibility, of infinite potential. So we could look at the womb as a space of emptiness, or we could see it fertile and already abundant with life based on our perspective. So right now in the space of being in the great cosmic womb, we're invited to take a far-sighted approach, to see that from this womb, we are dreaming a new dream. So may we be conscious enough to create play and laughter and spaciousness and rest and all the values that we deeply really have inherent within us, and to celebrate those values so that we can actually be creating this timeline of truly stepping in to existence for the collective, this tapestry of equality, of union, of sacred balance between work and play, between left and right, between light and dark. So our environment right now is the Four of Cups. So there's something being offered that we may not yet recognize. The Four of Cups suggests a collective feeling of discontent or contemplation. It's important to remain open to unexpected blessings and not overlook the opportunities presenting themselves. So what new gifts are arriving in ways we might not have expected? So when we think of fertility, we think of ourselves weaving a new story in the womb of creation? What new gifts can arrive in these mystical realms that we may not have even perceived? The vitality within us. Our hopes and fears is the Four of Pentacles. And this card reflects the desire for security and stability. Yet it also brings up the fear of just holding on too tightly. So this brings in the question, the invitation to really check in and ask ourselves, where are we resisting change out of fear? The Four of Pentacles asks us to reflect on our relationships with control. Where are we being invited to allow in more flow, more trust, and more abundance to enter? And our outcome this week is the Judgment card. And a powerful awakening is at hand. I'm sure we're all feeling it. Judgment signals a time of rebirth, of stepping into alignment with our higher calling. This eclipse is marking a very profound shift, asking us to release the past and fully, truly, authentically embody our purpose. We are being summoned into a new way of being, both individually and collectively. Right now, we collectively are moving beyond the victim consciousness. This is such a beautiful and powerful portal, because what this says is that we are taking responsibility. We're being accountable for ourselves, for the vibration that we emit into the collective tapestry. And when we step out of victim consciousness, we become the creators. Because now we're creating solutions for every single problem that arises. We now have created a solution. And we add into the tapestry, the collective weaving of a new story of solutions, which are not problems. And so right now, as we collectively get to weave in her story, this is an invitation to trust these changes that are taking place. The invitation is asking ourselves, even if we're not fully in alignment with change, with transformation, with transmutation, with transfiguration, can we be willing to evolve in these ways? Because as soon as we allow in the frequency that says, I am willing to be willing, we say, I am open, therefore I trust, and I align with the frequency of surrender. And all of our angels, our archangels, meet us in that field, that place of prayer, this portal of tenderness, recognizing that all of us will go through this life cycle in its completion. And depending upon our belief systems, we may do it several times over in one lifetime. So can we be willing to trust that exactly where we are is exactly where we're meant to be? Even when we are in a field of omniscience that can feel full of uncertainty, can we trust that our opinion and the collective opinion is simply the shutting down of the third eye? When we feel the fear, are we willing to allow ourselves to simply feel it, sense it, perceive it, recognize it's in the field, and then not attach with it, and then not align with it, not find some place in our body or some story in us that aligns with us and chase that fear? Because that's the old program of victim consciousness, is chasing the fear. It's weaving the fear into the narrative. And so as we are collectively moving beyond this victim paradigm, we collectively shift into the creator consciousness, full of solutions, full of innovations, art, authentic expression, and therefore beauty. So may we joyfully and easefully align together into this place of beauty, where the divine feminine energies are exactly in alignment with the divine feminine, the divine masculine energies within us as around us, above us as below us, in complete unity and sacred union. And in this union, the masculine principle holds the space for the divine principle. The masculine creates the structure, the container, the consistent devotion to showing up for, in reverence to life, to love, and the universal now. And by weaving and creating a basket to hold all of that devotion, we allow in the magic, the feminine energy to express authentically, with sovereignty, being willing to express, and being willing to be willing to learn how to express. Now that it's shifted beyond gossip and trauma and the cyclical behaviors of toxic relating and behaviors that we've outgrown, that are no longer going to feel resonant to us. They'll actually feel uncomfortable if we willingly choose to step into a victim paradigm. It will become uncomfortable. And so may we collectively remember to choose to come into the vibration of conscious co-creation in right relationship with a win-win for all, in harmony with the realms both seen and unseen, with the truths both known and not yet revealed. I send you so much love, invitation, as this reading speaks of dedication, of trust, of transformation. Some questions that we may want to contemplate during this eclipse. Thinking about those Tower and Judgment cards that were revealed, showing us that here in this eclipse portal of profound awakening, old structures are dissolving and new pathways are emerging. This Eight of Pentacles reminds us to stay present in the work. And the Two of Wands confirms that the future is unfolding in alignment with our vision. So asking ourselves, what am I ready to release so that I may step fully into my highest path? And how can I remain open to unexpected blessings and divine orchestration? If I believe it, I can perceive it, and I can will it in to be so. So another question we might like to ask ourselves is, what does true surrender look like for me right now? What does embracing magic feel like right now? Are we willing to perceive magic as a living energy that we can conduct, manipulate, master, experience, as we can with all energies, through our words, through a power of intention, through our prayer? We are walking this path together, held in the embrace of divine timing. So may this reading guide us all into greater trust, alignment, and awakening. And I'll close now with just breath here and just prayer of integration. We can just digest for a moment. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. Again, just an awareness of bringing that energy all the way up from the perineum, the base of the pelvic floor. Feeling the expansion on the inhale. Just feeling the expansion in the ventricles of our heart, the chambers of our heart opening, expanding, even feeling that breath in that rib cage expanding, feeling this big and gentle wave of your breath. Maybe closing down your eyes again or softening your gaze. Maybe bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position at the heart, or just placing a hand over your heart. Great Spirit, Divine Mother and Father, we give thanks for the messages received, for the guidance that illuminates our way. As this eclipse unfolds, may we trust in the great design, releasing all that no longer serves, and welcoming the new with open hands and open hearts. May renewal flow through us like a sacred river, and may we align with the highest and greatest good for ourselves, for our communities, and for all beings. And may we walk forward in faith, awakened, ready, and blessed. And so it is, and so it shall be.